Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a 1-month review of the Canon EOS M50 Mark II mirrorless camera. I got this camera as a gift around over a month ago and I haven't really been using this camera. I've only used this camera actually once to film my video of the ramen kitchen. And I actually didn't really know how to use it, but then I thought it should be easy because this is a camera for amateurs. So I would think, okay, everything should be easy to use. I shouldn't have to do anything on the menu, right? I would just start clicking that recording and then everything should work perfectly. But that was not the case. So what happened was after I filmed, I then uploaded my video on my laptop and I noticed that there is a lot of background noise, like loud background noise. And I just didn't know what it was. I thought maybe because when I was filming that, the mic was facing opposite of me. And so I realized it towards the end of the video and then I turned the mic over. But still, I heard a lot of the loud background noise, which kind of bothered me. So I wasn't sure what happened there. So I went online to look up some information as to why that was the case. I also had another problem in regards to trying to focus the objects using this camera. It wasn't easy to use. I wasn't sure why it was not really focusing when I touched the screen because I thought it would automatically focus just like what our phone, such as like the iPhone does, right? And so I was just clicking on the screen, but it's not doing any focus. So I had to kind of adjust it, turning this dial or this lens, right, to focus, which was a hassle. So filming my first video using this camera was not easy. It was difficult. I was surprised that it was actually much more difficult than I thought. I thought it should be easy for an amateur because this is like the basic camera for an amateur and also for vloggers. So I thought this would be easy to use, but it turned out it wasn't as easy as I thought. And I didn't know what the problem was. So I was just looking online to see what I can do to maybe change some of the settings on the menu. Okay, so let me just show you some of the things. Okay, so let's turn this camera on. I thought I would like this flip screen a lot, but it ends up that the flip screen can be kind of annoying because you have to flip it over. And especially, let's say if you are, for example, let's say if you plug the microphone here, then it becomes kind of annoying. So you plug the microphone here. And then when you try to flip, you can't quite flip it. You actually, you can, but you just have to turn this screen like this and then to allow it to flip over. Otherwise, it wouldn't flip over. Otherwise, if you don't turn it, you can't flip because this is kind of blocking this screen to flip. So you have to kind of adjust it like this. So it gets kind of annoying at times when I'm trying to flip my camera. Oh gosh. Yeah, so I'm just having trouble flipping the screen back and forth and things like that. So this is one of the things that kind of bothered me. But nevertheless, I still love the flip screen because especially if you are trying to film yourself, you want to see how you look like or you want to see whether the camera has captured your whole face or whatever you want to capture. So this flip screen definitely helps. And the size of the flip screen is a decent size. It's not a small size. And with this size camera, this is a good size flip screen. Also, another thing that kind of bothers me is, let's say if I put this tripod on, and once you put it on, once this tripod is on, you actually cannot take out your, hold on, let me turn this off. You actually cannot take out your battery. Look at this. You can't, there's no way you can take out the battery. And I tried different ways, but it wouldn't. I try to kind of move this on the side, but it just doesn't do that. So every time when you need to change your battery, when you need to maybe take the battery out, you have to take this out. So it's very inconvenient. I wish they designed it in a way where the tripod is still on, but yet you can still take the battery out. But that's not the case with this camera. So it's a bit of a hassle. But the thing is what I love about this camera is this, the remote. The remote is very handy dandy. Okay, I think I put the remote in the wrong direction or something. Okay, I think it should be like this. There we go. Yeah. So the remote is very handy dandy because I think I mentioned in my previous Canon video, if you want to film yourself, you don't have to go back and forth to the camera to kind of stop and play and check how the video is and things like that. You can just be at a distance and then just click off this button and then you can film yourself, or click off this button and then you stop. So this is a good investment. The remote is definitely good. So this Canon camera, it's retailed at around $700, and the bundle, which includes the tripod and also the mic, it's $900 retail. During Black Friday, I saw there was $100 off, so you can get it for $800 for the bundle. The mic, I'm not sure if it's actually useful or if it's actually a good mic. It doesn't really make much of a difference, so I don't think the mic is worth that much. But the tripod with this, actually not the tripod, but this remote is definitely something that's very useful. So you may want to invest in this remote. So maybe you can just buy the camera separately and then just the remote, and you don't need the mic or the tripod. So yeah, that $200 extra you're paying for the mic and the remote with the tripod. With this camera, I'm a little bit disappointed because this camera, it looks like there are reviews of over 4 stars. So it seems like it's a pretty good camera, right? But again, somehow I find it a little bit difficult to use. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to this camera or what, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get the best picture quality or how to film the best video. Or when I film it, it doesn't have a lot of noise in the background. Like I mentioned earlier, I did go and check out some YouTube videos and figure out what I need to do to set it so that we can eliminate those noise, or set it in that I can just touch on the screen and it'll focus. I mean, I kind of have to find that out from the videos and sort of like play around with the camera a little bit. The DSLR that I bought many years ago, I would say that DSLR was probably 10 years ago, and then I think I got it from Costco, and the retail was around probably $800 or something like that. So it's pretty much the same price as this one, the bundle kit of the Mark 50. But with that one, with the DSLR, that one, it came with a camera bag as well as a free SD card and an extra long lens. So there were a lot of accessories that went with that camera. With this camera, it didn't really have that much accessories. It didn't have the camera bag. So how do I protect this camera, right, when I'm not using it? But I guess if you buy this camera, you are most likely using it every day because this is a vlogging camera. So I guess you will be using this camera every day and you don't really need a camera bag. 10 years ago when I got the DSLR, it was around that price. But I know I paid at a discount because I didn't buy it on the year when it was released. I probably bought it maybe a few years after it was released. So the model was a much older model. I mean, I'm just so disappointed at this camera because I was expecting more, because this is a newer camera and I would think the technology has improved so much that the picture quality, the sound, everything is good. Again, with that DSLR I had in the past, I didn't even have any problem with the sound, and I didn't even have to make any type of adjustments or on the menu setting. Everything was just good to go. You just basically click the record and everything just records perfectly. With this one, I had to do a lot of things. I have to play around with the settings and this and that, so it's kind of a lot of work. And I'm just trying to still want to learn everything about this camera, or learn as much as I can. With this camera, what you need to do to get rid of the background sound is to go to menu, and then you go to sound recording. And you want to always make sure that this is manual. If this is not manual, you're going to hear a lot of background noise, which is not going to be good on a video. So make sure you set it to manual, because I think when I got this camera, it was auto. So there were a lot of background noise. So you set it to manual, and you want to make sure the decibel is under 12. And there were also other settings that I had to go in the menu to kind of figure out what to do to make it work, such as the touch screen. I mentioned earlier that I wasn't able to autofocus when I moved the camera closer to the object, and that I had to do the focus manually, and it was such a hassle. So there was a setting somewhere here where you go and then you change it to auto, so that when you want the object to focus, you can just touch the screen and then it will focus. So that's actually a good thing about this camera. One more thing is I tried to use one of these microphones, and I tried to film. I was doing a test film using this microphone to see if the sound would be better. But the result is that there were no sound produced. I tried several times, so I thought, okay, maybe the first time I messed up, and then I tried a few more times, and it did not work. So it looks like it only worked on this microphone, and I'm sure there are other microphones that would work on this microphone jack, just not this one that I got, which is a bummer. I mean, there are many things I love about this camera, such as, like I mentioned in my previous Canon video, the size of this camera. I definitely love this remote control. It's very useful. I love this flip screen. But there are also many things that I'm not so sure about this camera. Like the sound quality is not so good. The quality of the images aren't as good either. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or what's going on, but I definitely will need to play around with this camera some more, do a little bit more of film testing to see what works and what don't work. So hopefully in the next few videos, I will be using this camera more to film. And maybe let me give you a sample of how this camera sounds. Currently, I'm using GoPro Hero 8. I like it. I like it a lot. GoPro Hero 8 is very easy to use. The only downside to it is the screen is very small, and also you cannot really autofocus, and you can't really film anything that's closer up like this. But other than that, I like this little GoPro camera. But this GoPro camera, you don't really film miniatures, right? You film when you go outside, outdoor, and you film actions. Okay, everyone, now I'm using the Canon M50 Mark II camera and also putting the microphone in front of my mouth. Do you think there's a difference in sound? Can you hear any background noise? And I'm not going to edit this part so that you can tell the difference between this camera and the GoPro to see if there is a difference and whether you can hear the background noise. And what do you think of the quality of this camera? Anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel if you like this video. And I will see you all next time. Bye!